was a life insurance underwriter in a previous job, so I had a lot of interest in the medical details when I received the diagnosis that I had breast cancer. And I got my own copy of the radiology report to read, and I sat down with it, and it said, very high likely to die within 2 years. And the first thought, as I read all those details, that popped in my mind was, and I'd always thought someday I would be an artist. And I'd never even consciously thought about that. It opened that door, and it shifted a paradigm completely in my world for me. It began something that has turned out to be a wonderful thing. My whole world crumbled at that point. And as I went through the mastectomy and all of the drugs, I was on the chemo, 17 other drugs to keep me alive. And my theology had always been very strong. I had a very close relationship with Jesus. But as I was broken down more and more over those months, I had to take 17 additional drugs, I think I said, and my mind was beginning to go through the dark night of the soul very much. My husband was withdrawing, our marriage fell apart, he left, our finances crumbled, everything around me. The mountain fell into the sea very much. But there was one language that spoke to me past my intellect, and it was color. The color of the flowers. I was very, very supported by my family, and I started receiving cards and letters from all over the world, from churches and people who said, I heard of you and I'm praying for you. I surpassed my expiration date, which I used to look at the food in the refrigerator and look at those dates and think, I'm gonna be a zombie before this food is gone. It'll be in my refrigerator after me. And my oncologist had even sat me down. We were in the process of trying to adopt children. And she said, you have to stop because you won't be here to raise a child. So it appeared very definite that I was at the end of my life. When I didn't die, I finally managed to get around to taking a watercolor class. And I started painting 4 paintings at once. Everyone else in the class painted flowers, which was what the teacher was teaching, and I wanted to paint faces. I had no idea how to make the color of flesh, and she explained to me, you mix a reddish color and a yellow color, and there was flesh. And I painted half a face. It was, from the beginning, painting has been a way for me to express the emotions that I had a hard time putting into words because I was trying to be stoic and just grateful that I was still alive. And she gave feedback to everyone else and would pass over me, and I thought she would probably ask me to leave the class when it was over because I was so off target. But she said, I would like for you to hang this, and it ended up being hung in the St. Augustine Art Association for the first Friday, and it sold in that first Friday. And it was like a fuel that had been waiting dormant in my life that I would never have discovered. I would never have taken time. I've been trying so hard and working so hard to be wealthy and secure and stable and get all the things that you normally think of. And this turned my whole life to a different path where I don't try anymore. Art even has taught me, you follow it creatively, you follow the path as the stones appear, as you walk across the floor that appears to have no bottom. Art has taught me to live like that, because I did have to continue to live with that possibility that cancer would still take my life. At this point, a car out there may take my life too. I'm very aware of that, and I'm out of the danger of being watched closely as you are in the beginning after this diagnosis.